Have you ever felt like life was against you, like every step you take, every move you make, there's something pushing you down, trying to stop you from reaching where you're meant to be? Well, let me tell you this. When the odds are stacked against you, that's when you find out what you're made of. When life tries to break you, that's when you stand up stronger. Listen to me. Victory is not determined by how perfect your situation is, but by how strong your faith is when the battle is raging. So hold on. Because when the odds are stacked against you, that's when God's power is about to show up in your life. Don't you dare count yourself out just because things are hard. The odds may be against you, but your victory is coming. Have you ever found yourself standing at the edge, feeling like everything around you is crumbling? You see the walls closing in, the world feels heavy, and you're struggling to take another step forward. In those moments, it can seem like the odds are stacked against you in ways you never imagined. It feels like there's no way out, no way up, no way through. But listen to me closely. This is not the end of your story. This is simply the beginning of a new chapter, one where your faith will be tested, where you will learn the true power of persistence, resilience, and trusting in something greater than yourself. The first thing you must realize when the odds are against you is that you're not alone in this battle. Life is full of seasons where it seems like everything is working against you, but you have to understand that challenges are not the final say. The challenge you're facing right now might feel overwhelming, but it is not the defining moment of your life. Your defining moment is how you respond to that challenge. Will you choose to give up, let fear take over, and allow the doubt to win, or will you dig deep, find your strength, and keep pushing forward? You see, it's in the face of adversity that our true character is revealed. When things are easy, when the sun is shining, we often don't realize how strong we are. But when the storm hits, that's when we get to discover what we're truly made of. The odds may seem stacked against you, but do not let them fool you. This is the moment when you have the chance to show up in ways you never thought possible. I want to remind you today that life's challenges are not sent to break you. They are sent to build you. Every trial, every setback is an opportunity for growth. It's easy to get caught up in the weight of the struggle and forget that the struggle is what is shaping you into the person you're meant to be. Sometimes it's only when we are pushed to our limits that we begin to realize the depth of our own strength. When the odds are against you, it's not about what's happening around you, but how you respond to it. You must make the choice to stay focused on what you can control. Your attitude, your mindset, and your faith. The enemy wants you to focus on the obstacle, to get lost in the overwhelming weight of it. But you have to shift your perspective. Instead of seeing the obstacle as a roadblock, see it as a stepping stone. See it as a reminder that there is something greater in you, something that can overcome anything. God has already placed everything you need inside of you to overcome whatever challenge is standing in your way. You may not see it now, but He has already equipped you with the strength, the wisdom, and the perseverance to navigate this storm. It's in these moments of difficulty that your character is tested and your faith is refined. This is not the moment to back down. This is the moment to rise up. When the odds are stacked against you, it's easy to feel like you're alone in this. You may look around and see others succeeding while you're stuck in the middle of your struggle. But remember, you are never truly alone. The one who created you, who knows the very hairs on your head, is walking beside you every step of the way, and His power is made perfect in your weakness. When you feel like you can't take another step, that's when He carries you. When you feel like you're out of strength, that's when His strength rises up within you. You have more power than you think, more resilience than you know, and more faith than you realize. So when the odds are against you, stand firm in the knowledge that this battle is not yours alone. You have the Creator of the universe on your side, and with Him, all things are possible. Do not let the size of the struggle deter you. Your victory is coming. You are being refined through this process, and at the end of it, you will be stronger, wiser, and ready for the next phase of your journey. The odds may be against you now, but let me remind you, they are temporary. Your faith is eternal. So keep pushing forward, knowing that victory is coming, and with it a greater version of yourself. When the odds are stacked against you, that's when you rise. That's when you fight with everything you have, knowing that nothing is impossible with the strength of your faith. When the odds are stacked against you, it's easy to get discouraged. You look at your situation and it seems like everything is working against you. You've tried your best, you've given it your all, but the doors keep closing, the challenges keep piling up, and it feels like nothing is going in your favor. In those moments, it's easy to forget that your circumstances are not the final word on your life. You have to remember something crucial. Victory doesn't come when everything is perfect or when all the pieces fall into place. Victory comes when you keep moving forward, even when everything seems to be falling apart. There's power in understanding that what you're going through right now is just a chapter in your story. It's not the whole story. The odds may be stacked against you, but that's not a reflection of your potential. It's just a test, a moment that will pass, a struggle that will soon turn into a testimony of your perseverance. Every time you face adversity, you're building the strength needed to handle bigger challenges. It's a process, and while it may feel overwhelming at the time, you are being prepared for something greater. You see, the real strength isn't in how easily you can coast through life or how quickly everything falls into place for you. The real strength lies in your ability to keep moving forward when the road is tough, when it's unclear, when every step feels like an uphill battle. In those moments, it's easy to think that you're not strong enough, that you're not cut out for this, but you are. You are stronger than you think. You are capable of more than you realize. God has already placed within you everything you need to overcome this. Sometimes it takes the odds being stacked against you to uncover the depth of your own strength. One of the most important things to realize when the odds are against you is that God has a purpose for every struggle you face. The challenges you encounter are not random. They are opportunities for growth. They are the moments that refine you, shaping your character, your faith, and your resilience. You may not understand the reason behind it right now, but trust that this trial is preparing you for something bigger, something greater. There's a purpose in the pain. Every tear you shed, every sleepless night, every moment of doubt is preparing you for the victory that's on the horizon. It's also important to recognize that your value isn't determined by the challenges you face or the obstacles you overcome. Your value is rooted in something deeper, in your faith, in your purpose, and in the love that surrounds you. When life feels like it's stacking the odds against you, remember that your worth is not in your circumstances. Your worth is in who you are and whose you are. When you stand firm in that truth, it doesn't matter what the world throws at you. You know that no matter how hard it gets, you have something within you that the world can't take away. The next time you feel like the odds are too great, I want you to think about the power of perseverance. The journey to victory is never a straight line. It's full of twists, turns, and detours that will test your resolve. But what if I told you that the detours, the delays, and the difficulties are just part of the process? What if these challenges are not roadblocks but stepping stones that are leading you to something better? Every time you face a challenge, you have a choice. You can either let it define you in a negative way, or you can rise above it and let it mold you into someone stronger, wiser, and more prepared for what's next. It's not about never falling down. It's about getting back up each time you do. It's not about never facing difficulty, but about maintaining your faith, your strength, and your perseverance in the face of it. When the odds are stacked against you, you're not just being tested, you're being strengthened. And when you pass that test, when you make it to the other side, you'll be amazed at the person you've become. So take a moment to remind yourself of who you are and whose you are. You are not defined by the challenges you face, nor are you defined by the opinions of others. You are defined by your faith, your perseverance, and your ability to stand firm when the world tries to push you down. The odds may be against you, but they will not win. Your story is not over. This chapter is not the final chapter. When the odds are stacked against you, you are not alone. You have the strength to rise, and with that strength you will overcome. Keep moving forward. Your victory is coming when the odds are stacked against you. It's easy to feel like you're facing an insurmountable wall. You look around and see others moving ahead, seemingly without struggle, while you feel like you're stuck in the middle of your own personal storm. The weight of the world bears down on you, and every step feels like a battle. It's in these moments when doubt creeps in, when fear takes hold, and when the enemy whispers that you'll never make it. But I want to remind you today, this is not the end of your story. This is merely a chapter, and you are more than capable of turning the page. When the odds are against you, that's when the strength within you begins to rise. You might not feel it at first, but trust that it is there. You see, it's easy to walk in faith when everything is smooth, when the path is clear, and the journey is simple. But it's when the road is rough and the winds are strong that your faith becomes a powerful force. You are being tested, yes, but you are also being refined. Every trial, every challenge is an opportunity for you to discover the depth of your own faith, the strength of your own spirit. The odds may be stacked against you, but your faith is a force that cannot be moved. It's important to remember that no matter what the situation looks like right now, the power to overcome is already within you. God didn't bring you this far just to leave you in the middle of the storm. He didn't place that dream in your heart just to let you fall short. You may not see the way out right now, but God is working behind the scenes, preparing the way for your victory. His plans for you are greater than anything the enemy can throw at you. The struggles you're facing today are shaping you into the person you need to become for the next level of your life. When the odds are against you, it's easy to focus on the problem. The problem gets bigger in your mind, and soon it feels like the problem is all there is. But that's the trick. The enemy wants you to fixate on the difficulty, to believe that it's insurmountable, that there's no way out. But if you shift your perspective, if you start looking at the problem through the lens of faith, you'll realize something powerful. The problem, no matter how big, is nothing compared to the power that lives inside of you. The God who created the heavens and the earth lives within you. That same power that parted the Red Sea, that raised Jesus from the dead, is the same power that is at work in your life right now. This is not to say that the struggle isn't real. It's not to deny the pain, the heartache, or the difficulty you may be facing, but it is to say that the struggle doesn't define you. Your circumstances do not have the final say. You may be going through a season of trial, but that season will end. Just like the night eventually gives way to the dawn, your struggle will eventually give way to victory. The key is to keep moving, to keep pushing forward no matter how tough it gets. The odds may be stacked against you, but you are not powerless. You are not helpless. You have everything you need to keep going, even when you don't feel like you do. One of the greatest things you can do when the odds are stacked against you is to remind yourself of who you are and what you've already overcome. Look back at the battles you've already fought, the storms you've already weathered. You've made it this far, and you're still standing. You have survived 100% of the hardest days of your life, and you will survive this one too. Every obstacle you've faced has built you, strengthened you, and prepared you for this moment. You are not the same person you were when you started this journey. You have grown, you have evolved, and you have become more resilient than you ever thought possible. But even more importantly, you have to remember that your strength doesn't come from your own ability. It comes from the one who is holding you. God is not a distant observer. He is right there with you in the midst of the storm. He is not standing on the sidelines watching you struggle. No, He is walking with you every step of the way, guiding you, supporting you, and carrying you when you cannot carry yourself. The odds may be stacked against you, but the God who loves you is far greater than any obstacle, any trial, or any setback you may face. When the odds are against you, it's a time to press in, to lean deeper into your faith, to trust more fully in God's plan for your life. Yes, the road is tough. Yes, the challenge is real. But the God you serve is greater than any challenge. His plans for you are greater than any struggle. You may not see the way through right now, but that doesn't mean it's not coming. Sometimes God allows us to go through seasons of hardship to prepare us for the blessings that are about to come. You may be in the refining fire, but the fire is not meant to destroy you. It's meant to purify you, to shape you into the person who is ready for the next level of your destiny. So when you feel like giving up, when the odds seem insurmountable, when the enemy tries to convince you that you'll never make it, remind yourself, you are not alone. The creator of the universe is with you. The same God who calms the storms, who heals the sick, who raises the dead is the same God who is fighting for you right now. And he has already won the battle. You may be in the middle of a storm, but the storm is not the end. Keep moving forward. Keep trusting. Keep believing, because when the odds are stacked against you, that's when God's power is most evident. That's when you will see your breakthrough. Your victory is coming, and it will be greater than anything you could have imagined. When the odds are stacked against you, it can feel like the world is closing in. It's as though no matter how hard you try, no matter how much you push, things just don't seem to go your way. Every road you turn down seems to lead to another obstacle. And every time you think you have a breakthrough, you're hit with another setback. In those moments, it's easy to begin questioning your worth, your purpose, and even your ability to keep going. The enemy wants to take advantage of that doubt to convince you that you're not enough, that you're powerless, and that you'll never make it. But I want you to hear this loud and clear. Just because the odds are against you doesn't mean you're destined to lose. In fact, it's when the odds are stacked against you that you are in the perfect position for a victory. You see, we tend to think that victory comes when everything aligns perfectly, when the pieces of the puzzle fit together effortlessly, when we can see the path clearly ahead of us. But true victory is often found in the struggle, in the battle, in the moments when you feel like giving up but choose to keep fighting. The odds being stacked against you is not a sign that you are going to lose, but rather a sign that you are about to experience something greater. It's in the moments when you feel the weakest, when you feel like you have nothing left to give, that God's strength is made perfect in you. You are being prepared for something far beyond your understanding. And although the journey may seem difficult, it is necessary to mold you into the person you are meant to be. When the odds are stacked against you, remember that it's not about what you're going through, but how you respond to it. It's easy to let frustration, bitterness, and discouragement take over when things aren't going your way, but you have a choice. You can either allow the challenges to define you, or you can choose to rise above them. The trials you face will not break you unless you allow them to. You have the power to decide how this chapter of your life will unfold. Will you let the challenges defeat you, or will you let them propel you to something greater? It's in the struggle that we learn our true worth. You may feel like you are being torn apart, like the weight of the world is too heavy for you to bear, but God doesn't put us through trials without a purpose. Every challenge you face is an opportunity for growth. Every battle is an opportunity to become stronger. Every tear you shed is watering the seed of greatness that is being planted inside of you. You may not see it now, but the strength you're building in this moment will carry you through the storms of tomorrow. It's easy to look at your current situation and think that it's the end of the road, but remember, the road you're on is only temporary. It's leading you somewhere, and the place you're headed to is greater than anything you can imagine. It's also crucial to understand that when the odds are stacked against you, you are not alone in the fight. God has never promised that the road would be easy, but he has promised that he will never leave you nor forsake you. When you feel like you're standing in the battle by yourself, know that he is right there with you, walking every step of the way. When you can't see the way out, trust that he is working behind the scenes, orchestrating everything for your good. You may not understand the process right now, but trust that He has a plan. You may feel like you're in the dark, but God's light is shining in the midst of your struggle. Hold on to that promise, even when it feels like everything is falling apart. One of the most powerful things you can do when the odds are stacked against you is to keep moving forward, even when it doesn't make sense. The road may be difficult, the obstacles may seem insurmountable, but if you keep going, you will see the breakthrough. It's easy to give up when things get tough, to walk away and say, "This is too hard, I can't do this." But that's exactly what the enemy wants. He wants you to quit, to throw in the towel, to walk away from the very thing that will lead you to your breakthrough. But I encourage you to stay the course. Keep fighting, keep believing, keep trusting. You are closer to your victory than you realize. And the enemy knows it. That's why he's trying to discourage you, trying to get you to give up. But the power to overcome is already within you. Don't let the odds dictate your future. You are more than a conqueror. It's important to recognize that the odds being against you doesn't define who you are or what you're capable of. You are not the sum of your circumstances. You are not defined by your struggles or your setbacks. You are defined by your faith, your persistence, and the strength that lies deep within you. God has already placed everything inside of you that you need to overcome this battle. You may not see it now, but trust me, everything you need to succeed is already within you. God doesn't equip you with a purpose and then leave you to figure it out on your own. He walks with you, providing everything you need to overcome the obstacles in your path. So when the odds are stacked against you, don't focus on the size of the problem. Focus on the size of your faith. Focus on the promises of God that are true no matter what the world says. Remember, with God, all things are possible. The odds may seem overwhelming, but they are nothing compared to the power of God that is at work in you. When you feel like you're at your breaking point, remember that God's grace is sufficient for you. He will never let you fail. He will never let you fall without catching you. Your victory is already secured. The road may be tough, but the destination is worth it. Hold on. Don't give up. The best is yet to come. Your breakthrough is on the other side of this struggle, and it will be greater than you ever imagined. Keep fighting, keep believing, and never let the odds determine your destiny. You are destined for greatness, and nothing will stop you from reaching it. When the odds are stacked against you, the weight of the world feels almost unbearable. It seems like no matter how much effort you put in, no matter how hard you try, the path is full of obstacles, and every attempt you make to rise up seems to be met with another challenge. The doubts creep in, the fears surface, and the pressure mounts. It feels as though you're standing at the edge of a cliff with no way to go but down. The enemy whispers in your ear, telling you that you're not enough, that you'll never make it, that all your dreams and aspirations are out of reach. It's easy to listen to those lies, to start believing that this is the end of your journey. But I want you to hear me today. Just because the odds are stacked against you doesn't mean it's over. In fact, it's often in these very moments that you are on the verge of the greatest breakthroughs in your life. You see, the road to victory is never a straight path. It's never an easy journey. If it were, we wouldn't grow, we wouldn't learn, and we wouldn't discover the true depth of our strength and resilience. But it's in the struggle, in the moments when it seems like we are at our breaking point, that we discover the greatness within us. The odds may be stacked against you, but you are not without power. God has already placed everything inside of you that you need to overcome the challenges you face. The struggles you're facing are not there to destroy you. They are there to refine you, to shape you, and to prepare you for the victory that lies ahead. When the odds are stacked against you, it's easy to focus on the problem, to fixate on the obstacles, to let the weight of the situation consume you. But what you need to do in those moments is shift your focus. Instead of looking at the problem, start focusing on the promises. What does God promise you? What do His words say about your future, about your strength, and about His ability to bring you through? It's not about ignoring the challenges, but it's about remembering that the challenges are temporary and the promises of God are eternal. The problem you're facing right now may seem insurmountable, but God's promises are far greater. You are not defined by the obstacles in your life. You are defined by the promises of God, and His promises never fail. It's important to remember that the struggles you're going through right now are shaping you into the person you need to be for the next season of your life. It's in the toughest times that God refines us, builds our character, and prepares us for what He has in store. We often look at our struggles and think that they are signs of defeat, but in reality, they are signs of preparation. You are being prepared for something greater. Every obstacle, every setback is a lesson. It's a chance to grow, to become stronger, and to develop the perseverance that will carry you through the next battle. You may not see it right now, but everything you are facing is shaping you into someone who is capable of overcoming anything. When the odds are against you, it's also easy to feel isolated, like you're fighting this battle all alone. But I want to remind you that you are never alone. God is with you every step of the way. When you can't see the way out, when you feel lost, when you're overwhelmed by the weight of the situation, He is right there beside you. He hasn't abandoned you. He hasn't left you to face this battle on your own. He is walking with you, guiding you, strengthening you, and carrying you when you don't have the strength to keep going. The enemy may want you to believe that you're all alone, that you have no one to turn to, but the truth is that God is with you, and He is greater than any obstacle. When you can't see a way through, He is already working behind the scenes, moving things in your favor, even when it doesn't feel like it. There will be moments when you want to give up. There will be times when you feel like you've done everything you can and still haven't made any progress. But those are the moments when your faith needs to rise up, when your resilience needs to show, when you need to remind yourself that this battle is not yours alone. When the odds are stacked against you, don't focus on the struggle. Focus on the victory that is ahead. Focus on the strength that God has placed within you, the determination to keep moving forward, even when it feels impossible. Remember, nothing is impossible with God. When the odds seem insurmountable, when it feels like you can't take another step, remember that God's power is greater than any obstacle you face. It's in those moments when you feel the weakest that His strength is made perfect in you. You may not feel capable, but God has already equipped you with everything you need to overcome. You may not have all the answers right now, but God has already gone before you and paved the way. When the odds are stacked against you, it's easy to start doubting yourself. It's easy to begin questioning whether you're strong enough, whether you're smart enough, whether you're good enough. But here's the truth. You are more than enough. You are capable of more than you think. You have everything you need inside of you to overcome any challenge, to push through any obstacle, to rise above any setback. You are stronger than you realize, and the strength you need is found in your faith. Trust in God's timing. Trust that He knows what He's doing. Trust that He will never leave you or forsake you. And when it seems like the odds are stacked higher than ever, when you can't see a way through, don't stop moving. Don't stop fighting. Don't stop believing. Keep pressing forward even when the path seems unclear. Keep trusting that God is working in the background, making a way when there seems to be no way. When the odds are stacked against you, that's when you're in the perfect position to experience a miracle. That's when God shows up in the most incredible ways. So hold on. Don't give up. The odds may be stacked against you, but God is greater than any obstacle. Your breakthrough is coming. Your victory is certain, and you will come out stronger, wiser, and more resilient than ever before. Keep moving forward, because the best is yet to come. The storm will pass. The struggle will end, and you will stand victorious on the other side. Trust in the process. Trust in the promises, and keep going. You are destined for greatness, and nothing, absolutely nothing, will stand in your way. When the odds are stacked against you, it feels as though the universe is conspiring against your every effort. The weight of the world is upon your shoulders, and it seems like no matter what direction you turn, you are met with resistance, obstacles, and seemingly insurmountable challenges. The path you've envisioned for yourself appears to be a distant dream, almost out of reach, the pain, frustration, and confusion start to cloud your judgment, and it's easy to start doubting everything. Yourself, your purpose, and your ability to rise above the adversity. But hear this, just because the odds are stacked against you, it does not mean that defeat is inevitable. In fact, it is often in these moments when you are at your lowest that you are positioned for your greatest breakthrough. The reality is that no one is exempt from challenges. Life is filled with ups and downs, moments of triumph and seasons of trial. It's not always an easy ride. There are times when it feels like you've been knocked down so many times that it's impossible to get back up. But those very moments are often where the most powerful transformation occurs. When the odds are stacked against you, you have an incredible opportunity for growth, resilience, and faith. Each challenge, each setback, each moment of difficulty is an invitation to rise higher, to trust deeper, and to become stronger than you were before. It's in these very moments that you're being shaped, refined, and prepared for the future that God has for you. In the face of adversity, one of the most important things to remember is that your current situation is not your final destination. The pain, the struggle, and the obstacles you're facing right now are not permanent. They are a part of the process, a process that will lead you to greater things. It may seem difficult to see in the moment, but God has a plan, and His plan is always greater than any temporary difficulty. You may not understand why things are happening the way they are, but trust that God is working behind the scenes, weaving together every detail of your life for His greater purpose. The storm you are in is not the end of your story. It is simply the preparation for what's to come. You may feel as though you're standing in the middle of a storm, but remember that the storm will pass and you will come out on the other side stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the purpose God has for you. When the odds are stacked against you, it's important to keep your eyes on the bigger picture. It's easy to become consumed with the difficulties of the moment, to let the weight of your circumstances define your reality. But you must remember that there is so much more to your story than what you can see right now. The obstacles you are facing today are preparing you for the victory that awaits you in the future. Every difficulty, every challenge is shaping your character, strengthening your faith, and building your endurance. The journey may be long, and the road may be tough, but each step you take, even the painful ones, is getting you closer to the person you are meant to become. You may not be able to see the end result just yet, but trust that God is working in ways that you cannot yet comprehend. You are on a journey, and though it may be difficult now, the destination is worth every struggle. It's also essential to remember that when the odds are stacked against you, you are not alone in the fight. It's easy to feel isolated, as though you're standing in the midst of a battle without any support, but the truth is that God is always with you. In fact, He is closer to you in the midst of your struggles than you may even realize. God is not a distant observer. He is walking with you, guiding you through every moment of pain, every moment of doubt, every moment of fear. When you feel like you can't take another step, He is the one who strengthens you to keep moving forward. When you feel like giving up, He is the one who encourages you to press on. You are not walking this journey alone. God is right there with you, and He has already gone before you to prepare a way. When the odds are against you, it's easy to focus on what you lack. The resources, the strength, the connections, the opportunities. But what you must remember is that the only thing you truly need is faith. Faith in God, faith in His promises, faith that He is with you and that He will never leave you. With faith, the impossible becomes possible. With faith, mountains can be moved. With faith, you can stand firm in the face of the most difficult challenges, knowing that God is working all things together for your good. Your faith is not just a belief in something, it is a powerful force that activates God's power in your life. When the odds are stacked against you, it is your faith that will carry you through. Faith is what gives you the strength to rise above your circumstances, to keep moving forward even when everything around you seems to be falling apart. Moreover, you must never underestimate the power of perseverance. It's easy to give up when the journey gets tough. It's tempting to throw in the towel and walk away when it feels like everything is stacked against you. But it's in those very moments that you must press on. You must choose to continue even when you feel like you have nothing left to give. Perseverance is not about how fast you move. It's about how steady you are in the face of adversity. It's about refusing to quit no matter how many times you fall, no matter how many obstacles you face. With perseverance, you can overcome any challenge, conquer any obstacle, and achieve what others thought was impossible. The key to victory is not in avoiding the struggle, but in staying committed to the journey, knowing that each step you take is a step toward your breakthrough. You also need to remember that success does not come without struggle. If the path to victory were easy, it would not be as rewarding. It is through the struggle, the battle, and the overcoming that you discover your true potential. You are not just fighting for the victory itself, but for the person you will become in the process. The odds may be stacked against you, but your resilience, your perseverance, and your faith will enable you to rise above them. In fact, the bigger the challenge, the greater the opportunity for growth. What you are facing now may seem like a mountain, but with God's help, you can move it. The struggle is not in vain. It is part of the process that will lead to your success. When the odds are stacked against you, remember that victory is not a matter of if, but when. You may not see it right now, but God has already ordained your victory. The odds may be against you, but God is for you. You are more than capable of overcoming this challenge, not because of your own strength, but because of His power working in and through you. The road may be tough, but you are tougher. The battle may seem fierce, but you have everything you need to win. So keep going. Keep trusting. And keep believing. The odds may be against you, but with God on your side, there is nothing that can stand in your way. Your breakthrough is on the horizon and nothing can stop it. When the odds are stacked against you, it can feel like the whole world is conspiring to stop you from moving forward. Every direction you turn seems to lead to another barrier, another challenge, and another moment of frustration. The pain feels overwhelming, the difficulties never ending, and the darkness can seem so thick that it's hard to even find a glimmer of light. In these moments, it's so easy to lose heart, to question your worth, and to wonder if you'll ever make it through. It's in these very moments of trial that the enemy wants you to believe that the struggle is the end, that you've come to the end of your road. Then there's no point in continuing. But I want you to hear this clearly. Just because the odds are stacked against you does not mean you are defeated. In fact, it is in these moments that your breakthrough is on the other side of your faith, your perseverance, and your trust in God. The reality is that every person who has ever experienced victory has done so because they faced significant adversity. The greatest stories of triumph are not those who've had an easy path, but those who've been knocked down, who have faced unimaginable obstacles and yet somehow found the strength to rise again. It's when the odds are stacked against you that the true test of your character, your faith, and your resilience is revealed. It's easy to have faith when things are going well, when the road is smooth, and when everything falls into place. But it's in the moments of hardship, in the moments when you feel like you can't take another step, that your faith is truly tested. These moments are not meant to break you. They are meant to build you, to refine you, and to prepare you for something greater than you could ever imagine. When the odds are stacked against you, you may not see the purpose behind the struggle. It can feel as though the pain and the challenges are pointless, like you're trapped in a cycle that never ends. But the truth is, everything you are going through right now is shaping you for the future that lies ahead. God does not waste any experience, no matter how difficult or painful it may seem. He uses every moment to refine you, to strengthen you, and to draw you closer to His purpose for your life. There is a bigger picture, a purpose that you may not fully understand in this moment, but trust that God is working behind the scenes. The challenges are not there to destroy you, they are there to develop you. They are building your character, testing your faith, and equipping you for the victory that is coming. One of the most powerful things you can do when the odds are stacked against you is to keep moving forward, even when it feels impossible. It's so easy to want to give up when everything seems to be falling apart. It's easy to want to walk away, to throw in the towel, and to say, I'm done. But that is exactly what the enemy wants. He wants you to stop, to quit, to believe that you're not capable of overcoming. But I want to remind you that your breakthrough is often just beyond the point where you feel like giving up. It's easy to get caught up in the present struggle and to think that it will never end. But the truth is that your breakthrough is often on the other side of the struggle. Keep pressing forward, keep believing, and keep trusting that God is leading you through it, even when it feels like there's no way out. When the odds are stacked against you, you may feel alone, like you're fighting this battle by yourself. But I want to assure you that you are never alone. God is with you every step of the way. The enemy may want to make you believe that you're in this fight alone, but that is simply not true. God has promised that he will never leave you nor forsake you. Even when you can't see him, even when you feel like you're standing in the middle of the storm alone, he is right there beside you. His presence is a constant source of strength, encouragement, and guidance. When you feel weak, he will strengthen you. When you feel lost, he will guide you. When you feel afraid, he will comfort you. You are not walking through this trial alone. God is with you, and his power is greater than any challenge you may face. It's also important to understand that the challenges you're facing are not a reflection of your worth or your ability. The struggles you are encountering do not define who you are, what you're capable of. The enemy wants you to believe that your failures, your setbacks, and your struggles are signs that you're not enough, that you're not strong enough, or that you're not worthy of success. But the truth is, your worth is not determined by your circumstances. Your worth is determined by who God says you are. He has called you his child, and he has placed a divine purpose in your life. Your value is not found in what you do or don't do, but in who you are in him. You are enough, and you have everything within you to overcome the challenges you face. When the odds are stacked against you, it's essential to focus on what you can control, your response. It's easy to become consumed by the situation, to let the obstacles take over your mind, and to let fear and doubt dictate your actions. But in those moments, you have the power to choose your response. You can choose to focus on the problem, or you can choose to focus on the promises of God. You can choose to let fear control you, or you can choose to stand firm in your faith and trust that God will see you through. Your response in the face of adversity is what sets you apart. It's what determines whether you will be defeated or whether you will rise above the challenges. When the odds are stacked against you, take a moment to breathe, take a moment to refocus, and take a moment to remember that you are not alone in this battle. One of the most powerful ways to shift your perspective when the odds are stacked against you is to remember the faithfulness of God. When everything seems uncertain, when the future looks unclear, and when you feel like you're in the dark, remember all the times that God has been faithful to you. Reflect on the moments when he has brought you through difficulties in the past. Remember how he has always been there for you, even in your darkest moments. When you remember God's faithfulness, it builds your trust and strengthens your resolve. You can look back and see how he has worked in your life, and that can give you the strength to keep going even when the odds are against you. God has a track record of faithfulness, and he will not fail you now. His promises are true, and he will bring you through this. Lastly, I want you to understand that you are not defined by the odds stacked against you. The challenges you are facing today do not define your future. What defines you is your faith, your determination, and your trust in God. You may be facing a difficult situation right now, but that situation does not define who you are or what you are capable of. God is the one who defines your future, and his plans for you are far greater than any obstacle you may face. Your breakthrough is coming, and when it does, it will be more incredible than anything you could have imagined. Keep pressing forward, keep trusting, and keep believing that God has already equipped you with everything you need to overcome. The odds may be stacked against you, but with God on your side, you will come through stronger, more resilient, and victorious. When the odds are stacked against you, it's easy to feel as though everything is working against you. It's as though every door is locked, every path is blocked, and every attempt you make to rise above the struggles is met with another hurdle. The weight of the situation presses on your spirit, and it feels like no matter how hard you try, nothing is going to change. In these moments, it's easy to question your worth, your abilities, and your purpose. The darkness seems overwhelming, and the noise of doubt and fear can become deafening. But I want you to understand something very important. When the odds are stacked against you, you are positioned for greatness. It is in these moments of struggle that God is preparing you for your greatest victory. The challenges you face right now are not designed to break you, even though they may feel like they're tearing you apart. They are opportunities for growth, for resilience, and for deepening your faith. It is easy to see obstacles as roadblocks, but what if they are stepping stones? What if the struggles you are facing are not signs that you are failing, but rather signs that you are being shaped, tested, and prepared for something greater? When the odds are stacked against you, it's important to understand that the battle you are fighting is not just for survival, but for transformation. You are being molded into something stronger, something more powerful than you could ever imagine. In these moments of trial, it's easy to feel as though you've been abandoned or forgotten. When you're facing the toughest battles of your life, it may seem like God is silent or distant, but I want to remind you that God's silence is not his absence. Just because you can't feel his presence doesn't mean he's not there. In fact, it's often in the moments when we feel the most alone that God is closest to us. He is with you in the midst of your storm, walking alongside you even when you can't see him. He has never left you, and he never will. Your struggles may be hard, but they are not happening without purpose. God is right there in the middle of your battle, and he is using every moment to refine you, to strengthen you, and to prepare you for what's ahead. It's in these difficult times that you must trust the process. The road ahead may seem uncertain and the future may be unclear, but I want you to trust that God has already gone ahead of you. He knows the way, and he is guiding you, even when you can't see the path. The journey may be long, and it may be filled with hardships, but every step you take is leading you toward your purpose. The road is not always easy, but the destination is worth every sacrifice, every moment of pain, and every ounce of strength you pour into it. Your breakthrough is coming, but it is often hidden behind the struggle. The more difficult the journey, the greater the victory on the other side. So, don't lose heart, don't give up, and don't let the challenges define you. You are on a journey of transformation, and it is in the most difficult times that God does his most powerful work in your life. When the odds are stacked against you, it's important to focus on what you can control. There will be many things that you cannot change. The circumstances, the people, the obstacles in your way. But you always have control over your response. You can choose how you react to the challenges you face. You can choose to be discouraged, to allow fear and doubt to take root in your heart, or you can choose to stand firm in your faith and trust that God will bring you through. When you focus on what you can control, your mindset, your attitude, and your faith, you shift your perspective. You start looking at the problem and you start looking at the solution. You stop focusing on what you lack and you begin to focus on the resources that God has already given you. You may not have everything you want right now, but you have everything you need in this moment. God has equipped you with the strength, the resilience, and the faith to face whatever comes your way. In times of difficulty, you may also find that God is calling you to go deeper in your faith. It's easy to have surface level faith when everything is going well. But when the odds are stacked against you, that's when your faith is truly tested. It's in the difficult times that you are given the opportunity to strengthen your relationship with God, to trust Him more deeply, and to rely on Him in ways that you never have before. This is not the time to turn away or to let your faith waver. This is the time to dig in, to press into God's presence, and to let His word sustain you. The strength you need to overcome your obstacles comes from your relationship with God. He is your refuge, your strength, and your ever-present help in times of trouble. When the odds are stacked against you, draw near to God, and He will draw near to you. He will provide the strength, the wisdom, and the guidance you need to make it through. In moments of hardship, it can be easy to feel like you're fighting this battle alone, but you are never alone. You are part of a community of believers who are walking alongside you, praying for you and supporting you. The body of Christ is here to lift you up when you are weak, to encourage you when you feel like giving up, and to stand with you when the odds seem too great. There is power in community, and there is strength in number. When you feel isolated, reach out to those around you. Let them lift you up and allow them to remind you of the truth that you are not alone, and that God has placed people in your life to walk with you through every storm. You may also find that during the toughest times, God is teaching you something valuable about yourself. The struggles you face reveal the things you didn't know were there. They reveal the depth of your strength, your resilience, and your character. You may have thought you couldn't handle the pressure, but God is showing you that you are stronger than you realize. The trials are not only refining your character, but they are also revealing the greatness that is within you. God is preparing you for something greater, and every struggle is a step toward that purpose. When the odds are stacked against you, remember that it's not about how you start, but how you finish. The journey may be difficult and the obstacles may seem insurmountable, but your story is not finished yet. The victory is still ahead. You may be in the middle of a battle, but you are not defeated. You are in the process of being prepared for the victory that is coming. The Bible tells us that those who endure to the end will be saved. Keep your eyes on the prize and keep moving forward. Your victory is already secured in Christ, and with every step you take, you are one step closer to the breakthrough that God has for you. And finally, when the odds are stacked against you, remember this: you are never fighting alone. God has already gone before you, and He will walk with you every step of the way. He has already won the victory on your behalf, and He is working all things together for your good. Keep trusting, keep believing, and keep pressing forward. The odds may be stacked against you, but you are more than a conqueror through Christ. The enemy may try to discourage you, but God has already declared victory over your life. Keep your head held high, your heart full of faith, and your eyes fixed on the one who will never fail you. Your breakthrough is on the horizon, and nothing can stop it. When the odds are stacked against you, when everything in your life seems to be working against you, when the challenges are relentless and the struggles feel unbearable, one of the greatest temptations you will face is the temptation to let fear take over. Fear has a way of creeping into your mind, whispering lies, and making your obstacles look bigger than they really are. Fear will tell you that you're not strong enough, that you're not capable, that you're not worthy of victory. It will magnify your weaknesses, highlight your past failures, and try to convince you that there is no way forward. But I need you to understand something. Fear is a liar. Fear is nothing more than a tool that the enemy uses to keep you from walking in the fullness of what God has planned for you. Fear wants to paralyze you, to keep you stagnant, to stop you from moving forward, because fear knows that if you ever realize who you really are, if you ever step into your God-given strength, then nothing will be able to stop you. Fear has a way of distorting reality. It takes a problem and makes it seem 10 times bigger than it really is. It makes the storm seem more powerful than the one who controls the storm. It makes the opposition seem greater than the power that is within you. Fear doesn't want you to remember the truth, that you are stronger than you think, that you are not alone, and that victory is already yours if you keep pushing forward. Fear thrives in uncertainty. in doubt, in hesitation. It grows when you focus on what could go wrong instead of what God has promised will go right. It takes hold when you spend more time listening to your worries than listening to the truth that God has already spoken over your life. But here's what you have to remember. Fear cannot stay where faith is present. The two cannot exist in the same space. The moment you choose faith, fear loses its power. The moment you decide to trust that God is greater than the challenge in front of you, fear begins to crumble. Fear may try to shake you, but it cannot break you when you are standing on the foundation of truth. And the truth is, you were not created to live in fear. You were not designed to be overwhelmed by your circumstances. You were made to rise above them, to stand firm in faith, and to walk boldly into the future that God has already prepared for you. When the odds are stacked against you, fear will tell you to back down, to play it safe, to retreat. But faith calls you to step forward, to keep going, to move in confidence, even when you can't see the full picture. Faith is not the absence of fear. Faith is choosing to move forward despite fear. Faith is looking at the situation and saying, yes, this is difficult. Yes, I don't know how this will turn out. Yes, the odds seem impossible, but I know that my God is greater than what I see in front of me. I know that I am not alone. I know that He is fighting for me, and that means I cannot lose. Fear will try to keep you focused on the worst possible outcome, but faith shifts your focus to the truth that God's plan is always greater. Faith reminds you that no matter how difficult the journey, God has already made a way. Faith is what allows you to keep moving forward when every part of you wants to stop. It's what gives you the strength to take another step, to keep believing, to keep fighting, even when it seems like nothing is changing. Faith is what separates those who give up from those who press on, until they see the breakthrough. When the odds are stacked against you, fear will try to convince you that you are alone in your battle. It will make you feel isolated, as if no one understands, as if you are the only one struggling. But that is another lie. You are never alone. God has promised that He will never leave you nor forsake you. He is right there with you in the middle of the storm, walking beside you, strengthening you and preparing you for what's next. Fear wants you to forget that. It wants you to focus on the waves, on the wind, on the chaos around you, instead of focusing on the one who is in control of it all. But the moment you shift your focus from the storm to the one who calms the storm, everything changes. Fear loses its grip and faith begins to rise. One of the greatest weapons you have against fear is remembrance. When you find yourself overwhelmed, when you feel the weight of your struggles pressing down on you, take a moment to remember all the times God has been faithful to you in the past. Think back to the moments when you thought you wouldn't make it, but somehow you did. Remember the times when you were certain you would fail, but somehow God made a way. Every challenge you have faced up until this moment, you have survived. Every obstacle that tried to stop you, you overcame. Fear wants you to forget that. It wants you to focus on the uncertainty of the future instead of the faithfulness of the past. But if you take a moment to remember how far God has already brought you, fear will begin to lose its power. Because if He did it before, He will do it again. If He brought you through that last storm, He will bring you through this one too. Fear will tell you to stay where you are, to settle, to accept defeat. But God is calling you to keep moving. This is not where your story ends. This is not the final chapter. The battle you are facing is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to develop you. It is preparing you for what's ahead. It is strengthening you in ways you may not even see right now. Fear will tell you that you're not strong enough. But what fear doesn't realize is that God's strength is made perfect in your weakness. Fear will tell you that you can't handle this. But what fear doesn't know is that you are not fighting this battle alone. Fear will tell you that the odds are against you. But what fear refuses to acknowledge is that when God is for you, it doesn't matter what the odds say. When the odds are stacked against you, that is not the time to shrink back. That is the time to rise up, to stand firm in faith, to declare that fear has no place in your heart, no power over your mind, no control over your future. You were not created to live in fear. You were created to walk in confidence, in power, in faith. The enemy wants you to think that the challenges in front of you are too big, too overwhelming, too impossible. But the truth is, nothing is impossible for God. The truth is, He has already gone before you, and He has already made a way. The truth is, you are not alone in this fight. The truth is, you are stronger than you think, more capable than you realize, and more powerful than fear would have you believe. So today, make the choice. Make the choice to silence fear with faith. Make the choice to reject the lies of the enemy and hold on to the promises of God. Make the choice to keep moving forward even when it's hard, even when it's scary, even when you don't have all the answers. Because your victory is coming, your breakthrough is closer than you think. The odds may be stacked against you, but fear has no power when faith is leading the way. When the odds are stacked against you, the greatest temptation is to give up. The pressure becomes overwhelming. The weight of your struggles feels unbearable, and the idea of quitting seems like the only option. You start to convince yourself that maybe this fight isn't worth it, that maybe you've done all you can, that maybe it's time to walk away. But I need you to understand something. Giving up is exactly what the opposition wants you to do. The enemy knows that if you keep pressing forward, if you keep standing in faith, if you refuse to be shaken, then nothing will be able to stop you. The only way to truly be defeated is to stop trying, to stop believing, to stop moving, because as long as you refuse to quit, as long as you keep taking steps forward, as long as you keep trusting in the one who has already secured your victory, then no obstacle, no setback, no difficulty can hold you down forever. There will be moments in your life when everything in you screams to let go of your dreams, your calling, your purpose. The disappointments will pile up. The failures will make you doubt yourself. The struggle will make you wonder if all the effort is even worth it. And in those moments, you will be tempted to turn away, to settle, to accept something less than what you were meant for. But hear me clearly, this is not where your story ends. This is not the moment you were meant to stop. The very fact that the battle is this intense, that the struggle is this real, that the pressure is this heavy, is proof that you are on the verge of something greater. The enemy doesn't fight against people who are going nowhere. The struggle isn't this strong unless what's waiting on the other side is powerful. You are too close to your breakthrough to stop now. It's easy to stay committed when things are going well, when the road is smooth, when the victories come easily. But real strength is built when you keep going even when everything inside of you wants to quit. Real faith is tested in the fire of adversity. It's in the moments of exhaustion, of frustration, of pain that you have to make the decision. Will you let the struggle break you? Or will you let it build you? Will you allow the obstacles to define you? Or will you rise above them? Will you choose to believe that your best days are behind you? Or will you trust that the future holds something greater? The choice is yours. And the moment you decide that quitting is not an option, everything changes. Understand this. Perseverance is a decision. It is not a feeling. If you wait until you feel like pressing forward, you'll be waiting forever. If you wait until you feel motivated, until you feel strong, until you feel ready, you'll never move. Because there will always be moments of doubt, moments of fatigue, moments where you question everything. That's why perseverance is not based on emotions, it's based on commitment. It's based on the unshakable belief that what you are fighting for is worth it. It's based on the knowledge that even if you can't see the full picture right now, there is something greater ahead. And if you just hold on a little longer, if you just keep pushing a little further, you will see the reward of your endurance. Think about every person who has ever accomplished something great, who has overcome impossible odds, who has risen above their circumstances. They all have one thing in common. They refuse to quit. They faced rejection. They faced loss. They faced obstacles that seemed insurmountable, but they made a decision. They were not going to give up. And that is the same decision you must make today. It doesn't matter how difficult it seems. It doesn't matter how long it's taking. It doesn't matter how many times you've fallen. What matters is that you don't stop. What matters is that you get back up every single time. What matters is that you make the choice to keep believing, to keep fighting, to keep trusting that the struggle is shaping you into the person you were meant to be. The enemy will try to convince you that your current struggles are proof that you're failing, that the obstacles in your way mean you are on the wrong path, but the reality is struggles are a sign that you are moving in the right direction. Resistance only comes when you're making progress. The enemy doesn't attack what isn't a threat. The reason the pressure is so intense is because there is something valuable inside of you, something powerful, something that has the ability to change lives, to shift atmospheres, to break barriers. If you weren't a threat, the opposition wouldn't be this strong. The very fact that you are facing so much resistance means that there is greatness inside of you, and you cannot allow anything to stop you from stepping into it. One of the greatest mistakes you can make is to judge your future based on your present circumstances. What you see right now is not the full story. The struggles you are facing today are not the final chapter. You might be in a season of pain, but pain is temporary. You might be in a season of hardship, but hardship doesn't last forever. Seasons change. Situations shift. What looks like an ending right now is actually a setup for something new. The problem is many people quit too soon. They walk away before the breakthrough comes. They stop pushing right before they were about to see everything fall into place. They let temporary pain rob them of permanent blessings. Don't let that be you. Don't let temporary frustration cause you to give up on a future that is still unfolding. You may be tired. You may be weary. You may feel like you have nothing left to give, but I promise you this. If you refuse to quit, you will see the victory. If you refuse to back down, you will walk into everything that was meant for you. If you refuse to let go, you will rise higher than you ever imagined. You have come too far to turn back now. You have fought too hard to give up. The very fact that you are still standing after everything you've been through, after every battle, after every storm, is proof that you were meant to overcome. If you were going to be defeated, it would have happened already. If you were going to fail, you wouldn't have made it this far. But the fact that you are still here means that God is not finished with you yet. So, stand firm, keep going, keep believing, keep trusting, because the victory is already yours. And if you just refuse to quit, you will see it.